Good afternoon, Ospreys. You're watching Nest News live at the Student Union. I'm Gabrielle Forbes, and on today's show, the BOG postpones Limayem's USF presidential approval. SCS protests about rumored candidates, class registration begins soon, an update on the government shutdown, an interview about the homecoming parade, students' thoughts on the holiday season, and a sports update. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. UNF President Limayem's approval for the University of South Florida's presidency has been delayed until January following his unanimous selection by the school's Board of Trustees last month. It was rumored Limayem would formally confirmed by the Florida Board of Governors at its upcoming meeting that begins Wednesday when the meeting location was changed to the USF campus. A USF spokesperson confirmed that it's USF's intention for Limayem to begin his role at USF early next calendar year, saying, "Throughout this process, USF's intention has always been for Dr. Limayem to start his new role in early 2026, and that remains the plan pending confirmation." The next meeting on the BOG's calendar is January 28th through 29th, 2026, and is scheduled to take place at the Florida State campus at the University of FSU. On Wednesday, November 5th, Students for a Democratic Society held a protest in response to rumors of finalists in the race to replace UNF President Limayem. The Post cited a report published in the Jacksonville Business Journal that named UNF Board of Trustees Chair Kevin Hyde and former Republican State Senator Bob Bradley as frontrunners in the search. However, officials have continued to assert that no presidential search has begun. The Jacksonville Business Journal report was based on anonymous, unnamed sources, and Spinnaker has not been able to independently verify the claims. Rumored nominee Kevin Hyde, the current chair of the Board of Trustees, is also a partner of Jacksonville's Foley & Larnard LLP. He was appointed in 2016 by former Governor Rick Scott and was reappointed for a term lasting until 2026. Rob Bradley, the other rumored nominee, is partnered at Orange Park Law Firm and was a former Florida senator from 2012 to 2020. SDS protested these rumored candidates, stating that both frontrunners have closer ties to the Republican Party than to education. Current Florida law gives universities the decision to keep presidential search private or open to the public. According to university's officials, this process has not yet begun at UNF, and since it hasn't begun, it is unclear whether the search will be open or closed. Course registration for the spring 2026 semester begins Monday, November 10th. Students can go to the registration tab in their MyWings to register for courses in accordance with their time ticket. And now to Ryan for our sports update.
Hello everyone, we are inching closer to the end of the semester, and your UNF athletic teams are also inching towards the end of their seasons. So let's get right into this week's UNF Sports Update. Beginning on the pitch, the Ospreys women's soccer team extended their season another game as they handled Bellarmine 2-0 in the ASUN tournament semifinal, starting the scoring in just the 5th minute. Next, they will play against Lipscomb on Sunday afternoon for the ASUN title and an NCAA tournament berth. Jumping over to the men's side, the UNF men's soccer team took a little bit of a tumble in the regular season finale as they lost 4-1 at Stetson last Saturday. They will look to lock back in as they get a first-round bye in the ASUN tournament and will host the winner of Central Arkansas and Stetson Monday night in the ASUN semifinals. Moving over to the hardwood, the Ospreys women's basketball team had an up-and-down start to their season as they travel to Gainesville Monday night to take on the Florida Gators. The Ospreys lost 96-62, but then they bounced back in a big way Wednesday afternoon against Palm Beach Atlantic as they hung on and beat the Sailfish 70-67. Next up, they will take on Tulane on Wednesday. Swinging things over to the Diamond, the UNF softball team continued their preseason dominance as they crushed the College of Central Florida 13-0 Friday night. This marked the 5th consecutive shutout for the Ospreys. However, for their next game, things get much tougher as they host the Florida Gators tonight. Lastly, the Ospreys volleyball team has seemingly caught fire as they notched their 2nd consecutive win, taking down North Alabama last Sunday 3-2 in another 5-set thriller. The Ospreys now sit just 1 game back from an A-Sun tournament spot and have an important weekend where they host Queens and West Georgia. That's all I have for you all today. See you next.
On Wednesday, the government shutdown reached the record for longest shutdown in American history, currently at 37 days. Today, a judge's order to distribute emergency SNAP benefits was blocked. According to the Associated Press, the Trump administration said they will not tap into the contingency funds of $5 billion to keep benefits through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP assists nearly 1 in 8 Americans with groceries. As previously reported, if neither side is willing to negotiate, the shutdown has no end in sight. And after Tuesday's sweeping election victories for the Democrats, Democratic leaders like Chuck Schumer and Chris Murphy say they have no reason to concede. This is still an ongoing story, so be sure to follow UNF Spinnaker's website so that you can stay updated for the latest news. The UNF events for homecoming will start November 12th with the homecoming basketball game concluding the week on Saturday, November 15th. As part of the events, the homecoming parade also takes place that day. Tashawn Charity spoke with the UNF President, Vice President of Marketing and Communications about the parade.
On Saturday, November 16th, UNF will host its first homecoming parade since 2013. I was able to speak with Andrea Jones, a UNF Vice President of Communication and Marketing, to better understand what goes into preparation and get a sneak peek at what to expect.
My hope for this year's parade is that we build a sense of community, a sense of school spirit, and a sense of excitement that we haven't had, quite frankly, as a part of homecoming in a long time. I think students can expect lots of fun and exciting things for students as they are lining up to participate in the parade. We will be throwing out beads and candy, and it'll feel like a traditional kind of community parade. So I'm hopeful and excited for students to participate, to be spectators, and to really feel, again, a sense of community here as we head into our first men's home opener basketball game. I am really, really excited about seeing hundreds of people coming together. So I'm sure you've heard Ozzy the Osprey has gone missing. We understand some of his feathers have been found around campus. Students who find those feathers can get a $30 gift card to the bookstore.
For more information about homecoming and future events, check out UNF's event page and socials. I'm Tashawn Charity with Nest News.
Is November a Thanksgiving month? Or is it merely a pre-Christmas? Halloween ends, Mariah Carey music starts to play, Target becomes packed with ornaments, and Christmas trees are put up. Reporter Matthew Fiedler went around campus to get students' opinions on the season.
Some people will argue that Thanksgiving is a standalone holiday, while others think that Christmas begins immediately on November 1st. I went around campus and asked students what team they are on.
I think it depends on which frame you're looking at it from, because on a corporate business level, it's definitely pre-Christmas, because as soon as Halloween happens, all the stores put out their Christmas stuff.
Thanksgiving is the traditional holiday of November, but it has become a prelude to Christmas today. Not as many people give thanks today as they did 30, 40, 50 years ago.
I might be somewhere in the middle, not hey, Thanksgiving isn't a pre-Christmas, but also it's not, Thanksgiving isn't a Christmas, if that makes sense.
I feel like November is a Thanksgiving holiday. In Florida, we kind of lose sight of that because we don't have the season change. But I do see how commercially it's more of a prelude to Christmas.
If families have really defined Thanksgiving traditions that they value a lot, then it's definitely more of a Thanksgiving season for them. But on a corporate level, it's definitely more pre-Christmas.
I would definitely say after Thanksgiving is when we should start, like, hey, getting in the mood for Christmas, right? Like, you can think about Christmas all you want, but, decorating maybe should be left to December.
I do think Halloween is too early to put up Christmas decorations, even though a lot of people do it. I think Christmas decorations should be put up while it's warm enough to get up and on the ladder and arrange them.
Business is pre-Christmas, family, it's a Thanksgiving month.
November is absolutely indefinitely the month of Thanksgiving.
I say Thanksgiving is the holiday of November.
I guess it's the month of Thanksgiving, but it could, commercially, it's definitely more waiting for Christmas.
So, whether you're Team Jingle Bells or if you're Team Turkey, November is up for debate. I'm Matthew Fiedler. This is reporting for Nest News.
Well, Ospreys, that's all for today. Don't forget to donate and support Spinnaker by clicking on the link below. And for all things Spinnaker, check out our website at unfspinnaker.com or our Instagram at UNFSpinnaker for more content. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Gabrielle Forbes, and I will see you next week on Spinnaker's Nest News.